Hello, everyone. In the hope of staying on time, I'd like to welcome all of you again to the second panel of the virtual part of the event. And the title for this panel is Artificial Intelligence and Linguistic and Cultural Gains in Middle East Language Pedagogy. This panel will have three presentations. The first one is by Dr. May George. She is a lecturer of Arabic at Smith College in Massachusetts, and she will be talking to us about artificial intelligence and project design. The specific title that she has for this presentation is Using AI as a Tool for Learning, Converting Text into Voice. So please join me in welcoming May.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present in my home institution, University of Arizona. I finished my second master's degree and almost second PhD at the University of Arizona. In 2011, I graduated from there, and I miss Arizona a lot. People helped me to grow and graduated from College of Education. And I worked with Dr. Adel Jamal and Dr. Samira Farwani when I was there. Many departments supported me, including the Department of Biology, Education, and Near Eastern Study when I was a student. And now I am in Smith College. I've been here for 10 years. I taught everywhere, just mention a place that I didn't teach. And I taught Arabic all levels, and I taught courses in education for master and undergrad student. Today I'll be talking about how AI, we are experimenting as faculty of Arabic, using it in our classroom. I will talk about the project that I did, and actually there are two projects, but today I'll probably be able just to present one of them. And this project, it integrates math, history, art, and language and culture. So I'm going to first talk about the introduction and give you something about how AI we used it. And then I will present to you questions in this study and the process, how this worked in Arabic classroom, then the result, and what is the anticipation for us as faculty of Arabic. When we talk about second language learning, we always emphasized using technology in our classroom. But some teachers of us here, when we use it as pedagogical tool, we have concern because the AI is not a good fit. We are experimenting to see if AI can be a good fit for us or not. So to effectively utilize the AI tool, we need to find ways to have it be used in our classroom, as I noticed many K-12 teachers in different parts of the US are using it, and in the world in excessive way. But I don't know whether they are using it in a pedagogical way that has goals in it, that doesn't make it more dependent on it rather than being creative. My study examined a certain process by integrating different fields, as I stated, and the start of AI made a lot of impact into our thinking and to our pedagogical process. And I have to be honest with you, our student in our college, they don't prefer to use AI. Actually, they are against it, and when we use it, they go and report us. So this is the thing. And we are having struggle. We are struggling of having a common ground about ethical issue about using AI. Our school needs to find a common ground about that, and we are working with the whole department on finding that common ground. Although I believe to a certain extent that AI can enhance communication, and I'm doing a new work about using AI in literacy. Now, the main question is how to use AI as a tool in a classroom effectively, and how to integrate it in learning, and what are the advantages and disadvantages. So I decided to give the students something different because our textbook that we use, Al-Kitab, doesn't cover that. And I gave them one of the 7 wonders, which is the pyramids of Egypt, to learn about. And I gave them readings to summarize and to create an art about it, to create the pyramids itself. And then the final process was to use the AI in the project. So the student read 2 articles or 2 readings, authentic readings about the pyramids. We discussed them in the classroom. We watched videos, and also we were able to talk about them. The student learned vocabulary and learned a lot of information that I myself didn't know a lot about the pyramids in Egypt and why they were built and how they were built. We went to the math lab, and the reason we went to the math lab and had a lecture with a math professor, because we wanted to design a pyramid, and we wanted to know the measure about the pyramid, and we want to know many things. And he was engaging us in many critical questions like, what about the shadow? What about the effect of sun alignment? How do we do the measures? So after finishing an hour with the professor in math, the students were able to figure out that. So I have 2 levels participated in the project, advanced and intermediate level of Arabic, and they designed a pyramid following the process and the measure, and they work as a group to design the pyramid, not one person, and they have to go to different places to design it. So here's, we are in the math lab, and the professor explaining to us all the measures and how to do it. And after that, here are the students designing and making all the measures about the pyramid. And here is their creativity. They did it differently. Some they did it from clay, and some followed all the steps and the measures and the heights that we determined by math. So the students were given a rubric in order to answer 5 questions related to pyramids before designing the AI. So the questions were related all about the construction and the history, but the last question was really different. It talks about if they can find a similar experience elsewhere in the world. And again, that was all in Arabic. So the tool that I used, it's called Micro Monster. I'll show it to you, and I'll put the link for you in the chat if you want to experiment for it with it. I might stop sharing and go and find it for you. And let me, this is the tool. So the student have to read the text, and they have to summarize it in their own words. Then they have to type it in Arabic, which was a complaint. It's so hard to type in Arabic. And then they have to choose one of these speakers, because these speakers, they speak different dialects. It will convert the text that they wrote in their own text, let's say, although they have to cite the reference because they summarize, but they learned a new vocabulary, and they have to choose one of these and do the recording. So the student typed the text, but they went to extra level, which I didn't ask them for. They inputted into using AI movie and YouTube. And they created a video which has visuals in AI summary. And here are, this is the advanced level student that created the video, and they put also subtitles in English. I don't know if you can hear it, but let's see if I can play it for you. Yes.
الأهرامات هي الهياكل ثلاثية كبيرة بنيت في مصر القديمة منذ سنوات كمقابر للفراعنة. فهي من أفضل المباني المعمارية في التاريخ، وبذلك أصبحت واحدة من عجائب الدنيا ال7. أهرامات الجيزة الثلاثة هي هرم خفرع ابن الملك خوفو، هرم منكارا، وهرم الملك خوفو.
So this is the advanced student, and the intermediate one.
الأهرامات الجيزة واحدة من أهم موقع في الهندسة القديمة. تعتبر أعجوبة العالم الناس بنيت البنى تكريم الملوك المصر الفرعوني. الأهرامات الثلاثة الجيزة بنيت لخوف، خفرع، ومنقرع.
So there were some, of course, issue. I mean, we worked a lot, but I didn't correct every part of it. The most important thing was the production, making sentences, understanding the ideas, and trying to understand as much as remember the vocabulary that they did. And let's see. I think I skipped this. So the rubric I gave them, it was to not only to record, but also to write a summary of the permits. And these are the questions that I included about why they are bold and how they are bold. And the last question was very important to find a similar experience, which was astonishing what they shared with me, and how the project added to their knowledge, and how was the because they worked together in creating the art, but in recording the project, each person did that individually. So they need to summarize it. They need to meet with a tutor, also meet me, in order to have the text at least, good and good to go for recording. I gave them also a survey, and the survey included a couple of questions to see this experience. The project was not given a credit for. It was just evaluated for finishing the project, and maybe an extra credit, because this is first time we are using the AI in this way. And the question included about their vocabulary learning, and about learning about civilization, and the recording. And there was some kind of agreement about that has increased their vocabulary, and learning about history. Recording was an issue, not recording, typing in Arabic was an issue for them. Some like it, some did not. So there were these issues. So I would like to conclude, and then to share with you something about this. So the main goal was both practical and theoretical. I want them to learn how to use AI in a classroom. I want to integrate different fields, math and history and art, and language and culture, learn something about language and culture, but also to design with their hands, to remember this experience. The reading also in a classroom, and were for me, very important to help the student read all the time and learning new things and learning new vocabulary. There were some challenges. Figuring the size of the permit was an issue, but they emailed the professor. The student worked, as I said, on AI a lot. The main challenge was typing. And the student emphasized that they liked the practical and theoretical part. I would say most of them, not all of them. Some of them were, it's different experience. Now, the main thing and the main goal is to use AI as a tool for learning, where the student input the material that they summarized in AI. So AI served as a creative tool of learning, because a human were the knowledge generator, not AI. I didn't use ChatGPT to generate the knowledge. We put the knowledge, we manipulated AI. We didn't want AI to serve us. And again, all these fields were integrated, and we need to combine science and humanity in teaching and learning to fit the needs of the world demand, and to create both the practical and critical thinkers for the future. These are the articles that I used, and my project was supported by 360 World Languages Scholarship, and part of it is was published in Less Commonly Taught Languages in Actful. And here is showing you, this is my project I created as lesson plan that can be used for different levels, and I summarized part of my project. The project took about 2 months. Thank you so much.
Thank
Any
you,
question?
May. Yeah, since May has a family arrangement, we will take around 5 to 10 minutes to see if you have any specific questions to May. She will be leaving us shortly.
Okay, I see question here.
Yeah.
In the chat. May, can you tell us more about AI tool you used and the reason you picked that tool? Any information you can share would be helpful. Okay, so the reason I picked the tool because I am facing issue in a classroom, which I want the student to reach the level to express themselves in Arabic. The student memorize, and I want them to be able to have some freedom. So when we talked about pyramids, I want them to use their own words to express it. And that's why I asked them to summarize it in their own words and write what they're summarized. It's important because this will be when they leave the classroom, they will remember. I want them to remember why I did choose that tool. I couldn't find better than that tool. I could, in the other project, I chose different tools and I did different things, but I thought this tool would fit my project because I want the student to have that freedom to be able to express themselves. I hope this will answer your question. Okay, are there other questions?
Yeah, we have a question by Sarab and then one more here by Umayma. Let's take Umayma first.
Okay, where's Umayma?
Go ahead, Umayma.
Hi, May. This is a great presentation. I liked it very much. I just have a question about the video that you showed us. I saw that it was subtitled in English. Did the students provide the translation, or how did providing the subtitle fit in your task?
So I think they are more expert than me. I can tell you, I didn't ask them to use, they use something called iMovie. And iMovie, they can translate what they recorded. iMovie app. Yeah, but I think it generates the translation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sarab, would you like to ask your question directly, or I should ask her to May? Ask the question to May. Okay, Sarab wrote, why did you pick that tool specifically and not another one?
I searched for a tool and I found this tool more free to use. I don't have to pay for it. The student can use it easily. I think I looked at other tools, but I found this tool the best that fit my needs. There are many tools, but this one doesn't cost any money and it is easy to use. And there are many dialects. The student would like to hear different dialects. They have the freedom to choose whatever they want. Okay, there are other comments?
Yeah, there is a, I think Liana is asking if it's possible to share with us the link to the software that converts the text to speech.
Yes, yes, I promised. Here is it.
Great.
I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to give it to the host and here. Yeah, you can just click it. I'm sure you can find it.
We see it, May. Great, very good.
Yeah, and maybe next time I'll present the next project, which is different but similar in the historical context. But I used many different things that promoted the learning experience.
Okay. Any more questions to May? Okay, if not, I would like to thank May for joining us, although she has other family commitments. Thank you, May.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you here. And thank you, Professor, for giving me this opportunity. Love all University of Arizona.
Thank you, May. Thank you.
Masalama.
Assalama. Okay, our next presentation on this panel is by Rolla Elsaiary. She is an assistant principal of the Arabic Immersion Magnet School. And she's talking to us today about a storybook approach to AI, artificial intelligence, enhanced task-based learning. So please join me in welcoming Rolla.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today to see my presentation. As Dr. Mahmoud said, I am the assistant principal for Arabic Immersion Magnet School. Just a very, very quick brief about the school. It's the only Arabic Immersion school that is public and 100% teach Arabic to all the students in the school. We're not just a program, we teach Arabic to every student who attend our school. And it really inspired me a lot along my education journey and learning journey as well. We started when the school founded, or after 3 years of the school when it started. So we did a lot of creation of the curriculum and a lot of work that's been done. And what I've done today, or what I'm going to share today, is one of the things that we use or trying to use in the school on the middle school level. And I was really inspired by our students on how to make sure that they get that piece of learning. I just want to make sure, were you all able to see my presentation?
Yes, we are, but if you can already put it on the presenter mode, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Thank you. Very nice. Great.
Thank you. So let me see. I'm going to skip this one. This is my QR code if you want to be in touch and make connections. I will share that presentation later on after I finish. So I would like to engage the audience and just to get an insight about what excites you most about integrating AI into your teaching. Like, what is the thing that you feel like, oh, I'm going to use AI because this is the best way I can do things done, or like, and I'm not sure if anyone can help me check the chat. If you can take maybe 20 seconds.
I will do that, Rolla. So go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Yeah.
Mahmoud. So if you can please answer that question, what excites you most about integrating AI into your teaching? When you start of maybe do your lesson plans or you start creating something, what comes to your mind? You can mention the AI tool. You can mention something that maybe make it more time efficient for you. Do we have any answers so far?
We do. We have engaging with the students, new perspectives, saving time.
Great.
What else?
These are all great. And I feel exactly the same as well when I'm using AI on the personal level and with the teachers as well. So I collected 35 teacher responses when I asked them these questions at the beginning of the school year when we were doing the professional development training. A lot of them, or these are the top answers that we've heard from them. There are a lot of them a personalized learning. They can tailor instruction to each student's level. In our school, or I'm sure in every other education setting as well, there will be a vast gap between the proficiency levels. There's the most common problem that we have or we face and most educators face is that we can have novice levels in the same class as well as advanced or as intermediate. So having AI coming into place, it really helps a lot to do that personalized learning. And of course, it saves time for teachers as well. They don't have to do all the preparation. A lot of the heavy load goes on the AI. Creative lesson design. There's a lot of creativity when it comes to AI. There's going to be stories, activities, games, anything that you can integrate with a culture, you can integrate with any subject that you would like or the students are interested at. And of course, we've seen the first panel talking about the real-time feedback and the assessment. That was also an amazing and the big hit for time saving for teachers to grade and the efficiency for teachers. There's no matter how much time teachers and educators can get for planning, but we always always work even after our hours. So that is definitely helps a lot with the teaching. So today's objective is I'm just going to share one thing that I created with AI. This is my 5th presentation to present on AI, and I found out sharing something that I created, and these are the tools, is really more beneficial and helpful than just talking in general about AI. So I just decided to just show a product, and I'm more happy to share more later on. I will want to go back to the basics. So I've put Bloom's taxonomy, Edgar Dale's cone of learning, to give you the why I'm doing what I'm doing and what's the reason behind it. And of course, the real classroom examples, I'll share it as well. So I love a book, a very famous book by Simon Sinek. It's called Know Your Why. Every one of us, they do what they do, but we don't really think about the why. We only think about how we do it and what we do. But when you think about the why, it really provides the intrinsic motivation for you to create something new. And it really helps also the people that you're teaching or the students you are teaching to be inspired by you as well. Because what comes from the heart goes to the heart. So I'm going really to the basics right now, to Bloom's taxonomy, which is everybody, I'm sure, in this panel or in this webinar knows what's Bloom's taxonomy. We always start with the lower order thinking levels and then go up high to the higher order thinking levels. We start by remembering. So when you think of Bloom as the path in terms of language, we start from basic vocabulary to deep fluency. Each level helps students grow as thinkers and communicators. At the base, we have remembering. So students recall words and phrases, for example, list 5 roots in Arabic or recites the days of the week. Next is understanding, that we explain the meaning in the words or match with pictures or something. And then as we move up, we have the analyzing, like compare, for instance, between formal and informal greetings. There's also evaluating and creating, where the students start to do their own creation, like creative writing, for instance. So the goal is not just to use the language. The goal here, it's a language ownership through a deeper thinking. So if you are using the language, what's your goal for using the language? You have to give them something. They have to give them something that they are interested at to be able to use the language and have that deeper thinking level. So going to Edgar Dale's now cone of experience, or that pyramid as we see it, we're going to flip it now. So we're going to look at the top as a basic level. And I really like to always mention Edgar Dale, not just Bloom's, because Edgar Dale did a great job using the Bloom's taxonomy period by analyzing what activities and what level that falls in Bloom's. So for instance, if you look into the pyramid, if the student just read or hear, and if you are only listening or reading, this is a receptive mode. That's a passive learning. So really the students doesn't really retain much. It's between 10 to 20% of what they retain from the information. And as we move down to the pyramid, you will see the rate of retention in learning, it increases. So for instance, if you have the students participate in small group discussions, for instance, that goes up a little bit. If you have them play a role in a skit, or recording a podcast, or even visiting a festival like a Palestinian festival or any cultural festival. So at the very bottom, you would see the most powerful activities, which is like design or perform, to do something that has a real life experience. Students are doing something meaningful with the language. For instance, interviewing a native speaker, or creating a presentation, cooking a dish, explaining recipe in Arabic, or even just writing or performing in a play. These are all authentic experiential learning, and I would say it sticks into their brain when they start creating and producing, and it lasts longer. So when we think about now Bloom and Dale, how that connects in a language classroom. So if you design your own lessons or the activity for the students, if you want your student to create, evaluate, and analyze in the language, that's the top of Bloom's higher order thinking levels. And then you need to provide the activities, which is either doing, creating, performing. So this is going to be the bottom of the Edgar Dale. So the next time you plan a unit or a lesson, ask yourself, am I keeping my student at the top of Dale's cone of learning? Did they get the most highest rate of retention? Am I guiding them to go up in the ladder of Bloom's? Because you have to start from the bottom, doesn't matter. You have to start from the very basic to teach vocabulary or even teaching letters. But are you moving up or are you staying there? This is the question that you really want to ask yourself. And I guarantee you, as you move up in the Blooms or you move bottom in creation and evaluating in Edgar Dale, you will have higher engagement of students in the classroom as well. So I spoke too much, so I wanted to get some more answers in the chat box. I want you to answer this. Why all this matters? With that, I want to ask you, what 21st century skill is most important to you for students to develop? When you have a goal or objective you teach the students, there must be skills you want them to have. What are the skills that you have in mind? Now, let's take like about 20 more seconds. Dr. Mahmoud, if you don't mind checking also the chat box, just to
Sure.
see what the audience are thinking. When we think about the 21st century skills, these are all skills that we never learned in schools like 20, 30, 40 years ago. But now with the student engagement, these skills, they can be able to practice using it in the classrooms. Did we get any answers, Dr. Mahmoud?
We did. We have sustainable learning, and we have AI tools and social media awareness.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So I would say for me, for instance, I feel like critical thinking is a big thing. Communication, collaboration. I do remember one thing that when I was in the school back in the days, I learned the traditional way. I've never been able to collaborate with a group to create a project, for instance. But after graduation, we are thrown in the job market. We were told, oh, you have to work together to collaborate. You have to be receptive to feedback. You know, all these skills, we never learned it in schools, but you can teach it now. In universities, you can teach it in schools as early as kindergarten. And with the 21st century skill, they'll be able to work together. They will have meaningful learning, they have deeper learning, and they will be talking and speaking all the time, which is the most, from my understanding, the research says that speaking is the most or the least skills to develop when it comes to a foreign language. And they have a lot of anxiety, they have a lot of insecurity when it comes to speaking in a different language. So just having these students to collaborate, it's just simple as they have to talk to each other to be able to collaborate. So the points I wanted to reach here, as some said, we want them to be future ready. We want them to be computer literate, and not just computer literate, we want them to be AI literate. A lot of people, when we started AI 3-4 years ago, we had two extremes. There are the very optimistic approach that it's going to solve the whole problems in our countries or in the world. And there was a very pessimistic approach, is that like this is going to ban a lot of jobs and we'll be out of jobs and there's nothing going to be happen. There's going to be a lot of hacking. But really, when you think about it, whether we like it or not, AI will continue to improve, it will continue to develop. So really the best approach is to teach students how to use it in an ethical and appropriate way. And we just find the healthy balance between being optimistic and pessimistic. And with the using of AI, when you have it to the students, or you use it yourself to teach the students something, it will become more learner-centered instead of a teacher-centered. And that will definitely enhance engagement, and it will be also have a sense of ownership for the students and pride of using and creating their own thing. I used AI to create this picture because this is the way that I used to learn. And I used to sleep a lot in the lecture, and I used to get told off all the time because we never speak. We only hear and listen. But this is what we wanted to see in the classrooms now. We want to see these groups talking to each other. And you as a teacher or as an instructor, you are not the sage on the stage. You are just a guide on the side. You are the facilitator. You are the one who help them to create their own learning. You are not telling the information to them, you are guiding them to find the information themselves. And with that being said, I am going to share now one thing I did, and I will show you how I did it if you would like to use it. So I'm going to go back to here to the browser. Can you see the browser clearly?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is just a simple thing. I used the actual proficiency guidelines, and I had ChatGPT. As we mentioned, ChatGPT is an amazing tool, but I used it in a way to create and personalize my own ChatGPT. So I'm not just using ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT here to explore more GPTs, and I told them like, hey, I would like to create a platform. And I started here. Can you see? You cannot see it? Wait, I was probably doing this. Let me see.
Bilal,
I'm going to share
Bilal,
the whole desktop. I only shared the Canva. Can you see now?
yeah, now we do.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So this is a storybook that I did with Canva, but the tools I used I only used 3 tools. One of them is ChatGPT, and as other, is anyone talking to me or someone is not muted?
It's noise coming in the background.
I agree.
Dr. Bilal, can you unmute from your end, please?
He did.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So with ChatGPT, I was mentioning that instead of me using just ChatGPT, I tried to be a little bit more creative as the improvement of this platform, and I started to explore more GPTs, and I started to create my own. So as you see here, sorry, let me get this down. As you see here, you can create. You can create your own GPT. By doing that, you can add a prompt or an input to get an output. So this side of GPT is where you create, and this side where you preview your product. And it takes really not much of a time, but you'll be able to play with it until you create your own. And with that being said, I just created something when we started the panel, as I'm working through it, just to give you an example. I started creating something called Novice High Storybook with Task-Based Learning. And I provided them with list of vocabulary, and I told them, let me see. Create a story with a list of food vocabulary in Novice High. And it says, perfect, you're looking for Novice High, Modern Standard Arabic. I already entered the prompt. I uploaded the actual proficiency guidelines when I created it. And I told them, and they asking me now, and I asked them, please ask me what the theme, what the learning goal, and what's the age group. It's just because we have our school pre-K to 8, and I do teach in a university level as well. So I wanted to be able to get like a vast or wide range of age groups. So I will do the theme. I'm gonna say going to a restaurant and then order food. And then the age group, I'm going to just put teens. And I just give them the prompt, and now it's going to create the story for me. So they are doing the story right now and they align it with Edgar Dale with a task-based learning and focus on the 4 levels. And here's the story comes up. They give you vocab words, and you can also enter your own vocabulary. You don't have to just ask them for a vocabulary, because if you have a list of high frequency words you want them to learn, you can put that first, and then they'll create the story. It's split up by page 1, page 2, page 3, and so on. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the story, for me, it's the most important thing is the tasks. It does not matter what stories and what prompts you give them. You will have to work with them to own the tasks, because you want them to not just learn the vocabulary, you want them to do more of that to go up in the bloom. So for instance, we started very basic by matching words, and then we did, they give you a task for role play. Then what's your favorite meal, and then create your own menu. So that is just 4 simple tasks. And the more you enter prompts, the more that you'll be able to get information. So I will show you here. This is what I did. I used some other AI tool, which is I'll show you to create a picture, which is this one. This is called Midjourney. This one is $10 a month, but some of them are free at certain point, and then you have to pay if you want to create more. With Midjourney, you go to create and you just write your prompt here on the side. So for instance, I had the last one, you have an open mind. I just wrote a text, minimalist, you have an open mind. And it just showed me picture of that. And you can use this picture. You can choose to do a pictures of cartoons. You can choose a picture of like any sort of things, and I'll show you examples. Once you press enter, it will give you 4 pictures and you choose from them. You can, after it uploads or after it completes the pictures, they will give you 4 different pictures. If you like what we see right now. If you like one of them, you can say, oh, very strong. Like, I like it, but I like more of that. So let's, for instance, say this one. So they will sometimes give you more prompts of these ones to create more scenes. It just takes time. So it gives you a little bit of more, you know, a little more pictures on that one, and you can choose what picture you would like. As I do the story, I also would like to have a voice or an audio embedded in the story. And with the audio, I chose 11 Lab. I learned from My George today there's a free app, but this one is $5 a month. In 11 Lab, you are also able to upload your own voice. So, and which is what I did. I uploaded my own voice, and I decided to take a copy from the story that is being written, of course, after you read it and you edit it to make it your own, and then paste it here. And once I did Red Riding Hood here in Arabic, and I will just click on generate speech. When I click on generate speech, it will take
ذات يوم
seconds.
خرجت ليلى من منزلها في
Can
الغابة
you hear this?
وهي تحمل سلة مليئة بالطعام لجدتها المريضة. أوصتها
Yes.
والدتها بعدم التوقف في الطريق أو التحدث إلى الغرباء. بينما كانت تمشي بين الأشجار العالية قابلت ذئباً.
You can also download that audio and embed it into Canva or into PowerPoint or any platform you're using. The reason I looked into this platform is the following. I'm a mother of 4, and I have a kindergartner who always constantly knock my door. And I feel like when I start recording, this is the minute that my kids like to interrupt me. So I felt like I really need something that is clear voice, very clear background, no noises, and it's just very efficient and quick for me. So this was amazing for me. It does not cost me extra time of my schedule. I don't have to wait until I put them to bed or I do something. Like, I'm very free to do it. I just do it as on the go, like while I'm sitting with them sometimes. Of course, we all had the COVID time and we all had to do a lot of things. We discover things on our own and record videos on our own and stuff. But I found out this is the most efficient way for me. And this is a final product I did. I made it as simple as Novice High, but you can go as advanced as you want it to be. I made this one to be able to print it as one page would be a picture and the other page would be the prompt. And with this one, it can also embed the audio in them for the students. So I can upload it on Canva. This is our Canvas. This is our platform for learning, and the students can listen to the story on their own, or we can listen to it all together. They can also practice listening to it at home and start reading after that one. So as I move on, this is like really 6 pages, no more than that. And then I would provide translation and transliteration as well for the key vocabulary I want them to learn. And then this is the focus of the words that I want them to focus on, because I want them to use these words later on to create their own creative writing. And the key for the story is really this, the task-based activities. I want them to use the story to do something, not just read it, memorize vocabulary, or rote learning, and that's it. I want them to be able to do more with that. So I use every story on 5 days. The first day, I let them just memorize vocab, practice reading, make it simple. And we do the method of I do, we do, you do. When I do that method, I do, and then we do, we do, we do, we do, we do, and then you do. So I model first, then have them pair up or do it in groups or interact with me. And then I have them, they do by themselves by either pairing themselves or presenting. Then we do the day 2, we sequence the events. We just shuffle it up and it's like, hey, let's sequence the story. Or find another ending of that story, or let's change the introduction and things like that. Then we do listening and responding, which is like more of they will demonstrate their understanding of the story by listening and identifying. So they are going to listen to prompts and then they'll identify by answering a question. They also build some sentences by providing a sentence stem. If you have someone who are in a higher level, you can, of course, getting them up to create their own sentences. They don't have to use the sentence stem. They do some more of creative expression for day 5. And you can also make a final assessment. I personally choose to assess them every day. But also at the end of the unit or of the week, you can just make a final assessment and just have them to demonstrate everything: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. At the end of that one, I just give them a rubric, and this is what I assess. And sometimes I just go around the students and just like grade them on the spot right away. This is it for me. This is just a very simple thing that I wanted to share. And I felt like it kind of really works well with our students. And let me see. This is a QR code for the link that I did. And if you had that presentation, you can click on that one and you can experience it yourself as well. You don't have to pay for ChatGPT. You don't have to create something new. You can just use the link I created if you don't have a membership for ChatGPT. And this is just a present for you. This is 11 Lab link if you would like to explore it yourself. I do know some of them are a little bit they give you free prompts, but then you have to pay for it. In one of my presentations for University of Houston, I just find it a little bit funny for me because I never knew Mandarin. I don't know any Chinese, but I decided to make the prompt in Chinese. And there were some of teachers in my school, they are listening to that presentation, and we all like had a really good laugh because I can speak Mandarin now, and it was in my own voice. So it was really sweet to see that. The last but not least, if I can get that, I think it's crashed. Oh, here we go. This is the visuals AI that I use, which is called Midjourney. I would say ChatGPT can also help you create some visuals, but Midjourney is amazing because if you want to create a sequence of story, it will give you that sequence. As you see here in this picture, I was able to create 4 pictures with the 4 different scenes for an elementary story for Red Riding Hood. With ChatGPT and other AIs I explored personally, they do make it different. So it could be there's a lot of differences. This is the most one that I felt like it's very appropriate and it can be a sequencing very easily. This is it for my presentation, and I'm open for any questions if you have any questions for me.
Thank you, Rolla. Would you mind if we take the questions at the end after we hear from you?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, great. Thank you. A great presentation.
Thank you.
May I ask that school is in the state of what? Texas?
We are in state of Texas and Houston.
And you said it's the only school that you are aware of that offers Arabic English, right?
It's not that I'm aware of. We are funded by Qatar Foundation International, and they work with all the public schools that provide Arabic from K to 12. There are 4 public schools in the United States of America, but every other school, there's a New York one, there's Maryland, and there's California. They are all programs in a public school. We are the only 100% like a whole building. It's a whole public school that we are providing the Arabic, and we're the highest like population of students and teachers as well. But they're all great programs. The other 3 programs, and they are beautiful programs, and we all learn from each other every year. Meet in the Summer Institute.
Good to hear that Arabic is getting into that space of bilingual.
It's very high in demand right now.
Thank you very much, Rolla. Our last presentation is by Dr. Bilel El-Motri. Dr. Bilel El-Motri is an assistant professor of English in the Northern Border University in Saudi Arabia. Today, he's talking to us about enhancing the Arabic language fluency and cultural understanding through specific AI tools. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Bilel from Saudi Arabia.
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Bilel. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Mahmoud. Thank you for this presentation. Thank you very much. I'm really pleased to join this workshop on the Middle Eastern languages and the use of AI technology in developing Middle Eastern languages. So the title, as you see, Enhancing Arabic Language Proficiency Through Arabic-Specific AI Tools. So first of all, through the emergence or the emerging of AI tools in like ChatGPT and NLP and LLMs, such as ChatGPT, Gemini. So the language learning and language teaching has developed more and more. In the past, we used to talk the use of technology and the use of the technology literacy in the teaching English and Arabic and other languages. Specifically Arabic, we didn't have much experience in using technology here in Saudi Arabia. So with the emerging of AI, we have started making experiments and try to look and to find out how can these natural language processing tools improve language teaching in Arabic. So these tools can improve all the 4 skills, like the reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So the study that we have carried out targets intermediate Arabic learners to assess tool effectiveness. You know, the literature that we have read have shown that AI tools enhance in personalization, feedback, and learner autonomy. And also, we have discovered that limited research exists on Arabic-specific LLM integration in classrooms, as I told you in the beginning. So there is a shortage or limited study in this field, especially here in the Middle East and specifically in Saudi Arabia. And this study will address this gap in Arabic AI-based language pedagogy. So our research questions centers about how do AI tools impact Arabic proficiency across reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So here we're going to tackle the 4 skills, how these AI tools enhance the 4 skills. The second research question, to what extent do they foster engagement and creativity? Third, what are the pedagogical opportunities and challenges? And the fourth question, what do students think about AI enhanced learning tools? The methodology that we have used, it's mixed methods. The participants were 30 intermediate Arabic learners, intervention curriculum integrated with Kalam for writing, ChatGPT for speaking, and also can be used for writing, Gemini also for speaking and writing, and also can be used for listening. So the tools like Google Translate and Voice Aloud Reader also can be used to translate and to enhance vocabulary for students. Memrise and Duolingo also help to improve students' skills. Duolingo that uses game-based theories. These game-based theories motivate students to learn more than classic classrooms. You know, students are they enjoy playing games, and Duolingo provides these games for students, especially in technology video games like challenging games, how to have a quiz, how to enjoy learning. So the instruments used to measure the students' progress are pre and post tests, surveys, to see their attitudes, to measure their attitudes and observations, teachers' observations, and the project analysis that the students that wrote in the end of the semester. So here the AI tools that we have a table that shows an overview of the used AI tools. Kalam, it's an AI tool that I talked to you about. It helps to check grammar, spelling, purpose, error correction, style refinement. ChatGPT, Gemini, large language model, creative writing, dialogic practice. Students can chit chat with ChatGPT or Gemini, and with chit chatting, they can enhance their language proficiency. Google Translate helps them to translate some vocabulary. It gives them some pronunciation feedback, comprehension. We can add to here also Reverso. Reverso also helps students to enhance their vocabulary and their comprehension of words. Duolingo and Memrise, language learning apps, these applications also help to build vocabulary and to acquire new words. As I told you, it is gamified repetition, so it is challenging for students, and these generation students like game-based theories. The last one, voice aloud reader, text-to-speech, listening practice with varied input. So this one can be done also by ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, or any other LLMs. So the preliminary results show that students have progressed in all of the skills. As you can see here, reading, writing, listening, speaking. The pretest here, the pretest line is in blue line. And the post-test is in red line. You see here the percentage, it went up to 80% or more than 70%. Before it was 60% or below, especially in listening and speaking. So, percentages of positive responses. You see here, 20% showed concern about AI bias. Here, the risk of AI ethics, the bias of AI, it can be biased. More confident speaking in Arabic. Some students felt more confident, and not some, most of the students, more than 60% felt confident after the intervention, after using these AI tools. And about 78% enjoyed creative tasks. More than 80% declared that AI is helpful in writing. This is another graph that shows that the pre-test in blue and the post-test is in red. As you have seen, that there is an increase in all 4 skills after the use of these AI tools during the intervention. This is another graph that shows the enhanced, students said that it enhanced their Arabic skills, made learning more engaging, encouraged creativity, improved their self-confidence. Uh, 85% found AI helpful in writing, 78% enjoyed creative tasks, 63% felt more confident in speaking, 22% expressed concern about AI bias, as I told you in the beginning, in the former slide. The observations and creativity, teacher observations increased peer collaboration, students experimenting with style register, autonomy in project work. teachers have noticed that students have become more autonomous and more motivated to do their projects, especially when they go home, when they are alone. They need the assistance of these AI tools. Visuals, students also can use these AI tools to do their project presentations, screenshots, or class interaction images. The challenges that have faced these students or the integration of AI, there is an over-reliance of AI. So as AI is a bless, it can be also, it can hamper students because it makes them lazy. It causes laziness. So this is so their cognitive skills can become lazy, and they don't rely on their own thinking skills. So there is another problem: the dialects. As you know, ChatGPT can speak, for example, sometimes Saudi dialect, Tunisian dialect. Sometimes, if as we have noticed here, if we talk to them in Arabic, it can detect that you are from Saudi Arabia or from Tunisia or from Jordan or from Egypt, and it talks to you in that dialect. And this is not helpful. So we have to guide ChatGPT to ask them to talk in or to write in Al-Arabiya al-Fusha. And there are other limitations. For example, there are cultural gaps in these LLMs databases. So they don't have, they don't consider culture too much. So there is, you know, pragmatics, cross-cultural view here. So these LLMs and these AI tools need to adjust their databases to consider the cultural gaps and cross-cultural gaps in the Arabic culture and the Middle Eastern culture, to provide students with something that considers their culture and it takes their culture into account. So this will motivate these students and will help them. It will encourage them to learn more. The opportunities. So personalized learning. There are many personalized learning paths. So here students can have personal tutors at home. It is personal learning. They can use it as a personal learning tool. Engaging with authentic materials. Maybe it can provide them with authentic materials from their culture or their studies. Cultural exploration through AI narratives. They can explore other cultures through AI. For example, students from the Middle East can explore other cultures through AI. They can know about the US culture, the European culture, the Far Eastern culture through AI. They can read text, they can ask ChatGPT or other LLMs about other cultures, they learn about them. And this is really motivating, and it helps students to develop their skills. So let's move on to the implications for practice. So Arabic teachers need to integrate these AI tools into their curriculum design. So they have to study their course, the opportunity to include these AI tools in their curriculum design, in the course specification, for example, and at the level of the Bloom's taxonomy and the level of evaluation of teaching and assessment, teacher feedback. Another recommendation is teachers have to be trained on AI literacy, because students are way ahead from some teachers. Students use more AI, they install apps, they are literate, they have AI literacy more than their teachers. So teachers, they have to catch up with this and have to improve their skills in AI to be the same pace with their students. So Arabic focused at technology innovation. There has to be Arabic focused educational technology, and there has to be many studies that have to be conducted. Research, as we said in the very beginning, there is a scarcity in this area. Research scarcity in this area. So researchers, teachers have to cooperate and collaborate in order to innovate in educational technology in Arabic-focused classrooms. And this also involves many stakeholders like policies, ethics, in IA for language learning. Let's come to ethics. So teachers have to raise awareness, students' awareness of using these AI tools in their assignments, in their tests. So they have to tell them to be cautious about the misuse or the abuse of using AI tools. So as we told, it is a bless, and it can be also a sin that has to be skipped and has to be warned against. Okay, so let's move on. So to the limitations and future research. It's true that we had a small sample size, 30 students. It was an experimental study, short intervention period for 1 semester. So the next steps, the future steps, so we have to explore the dialect-specific tools. As we told that these LLMs can talk and they can write in many dialects. So these dialects have to be studied also, and their efficiency in producing these dialects have to be studied. And it would be better if there are longitudinal impacts, learning style adaptability, and once again to the ethics in AI usage. So there have to be many studies and the ethics in AI usage. So the conclusion, AI can be a transformative partner in Arabic education when used wisely. So there has to be a wise use of AI, and we can innovate without losing cultural grounding or pedagogical rigor. As you know, some people were against including AI in course specifications, in teaching classrooms, and even allowing ChatGPT or these AIs to be used in classrooms or to be used in universities or schools. So now it's time to innovate and to accept these technologies and integrate them into our cultural background, and find a pedagogical rigor, and to use them as assistants, as guides, and include them in our course specifications and curriculum design. So this is a question for the participants. How would you use AI in your Arabic classes? Maybe they can answer later on, but let me first introduce to you some of these links. So here the icon qalam, it can be here a mulhaq also. Okay, and reverse also can be, also you can use it, or Google Translate, you can use them in your Google. So here you can press and you can see, for example, the correction للغة مساعد الكتابة الذكي للغة العربية. للغة العربية. There is a mistake, so قلم للأعمال. Here there is قلم للأعمال المقربين. There is a mistake here in the punctuation. خارجه محليا. اوكي. المؤسسات داخليا. You know الشدة and الفتحة. قلم للأعمال. بالسهلة ليست بالسهلة. It lacks سين. حتى يكون أو حتى حين تكون. اوكي. مثل punctuation here. أنواعها punctuation. So as you can see here, the mistakes can be corrected. ينتجوا. It's not ينتجون. So here الأخطاء الإملائية in red. الصياغة in yellow. Here المعجم vocabulary in purple. So you can know the function or the type of the mistake in the color, as I told you at the beginning. So العربية, it is not ها, it is ت. Okay. It is a spelling mistake. للغة as بها. Okay. You can eliminate some unnecessary words, and also you can translate. You can use it to translate also. Okay. And also you can use it here to see the similarity. كشف الاقتباسات. You can use it to check the similarity. Another tool. So Duolingo, as I told you. So you are familiar with Duolingo, this green bird. You can learn. Students can learn Arabic through this green bird. As I told you, it is game-based theory, game-based approach. So students can enjoy learning through Duolingo. You can choose learning Arabic. And I wrote a paper about Duolingo and Oxford. It is in learning, unlocking language proficiency, a comprehensive comparison of Duolingo and Oxford English Coach effectiveness in language learning. It is about English, but also Duolingo can be used, the same theory can be used in Arabic, learning Arabic. Memrise also can be used to learn Arabic speaking. Especially it focuses on speaking.
If you can wrap up, Bilal, maybe in 1 minute or so. I want to make sure that the audience ask you and Rolla any questions they have.
Okay. So it's the end of the presentation. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for. Yes. Okay. No problem.
Yeah, we have around 10 minutes before we go to the lunch break. We have around 10 minutes.
Okay.
If you have any questions to Bilal or to Rolla? Okay, we have one here, I think, for Bilal. Does Qalam have a free version or is it only a paid resource? Bilal, do you know if Qalam is free or we have to pay to get access to it?
It's frozen.
I think he's frozen.
Frozen. Okay. Okay. If we have any other questions until we have Bilal back, we have Rolla here.
I believe that people had asked for Rolla's link, and I had put that in the chat. If you need me to put it again, just let me know.
I just sent it to Dr. Mahmoud. Do you want me to share, Dr. Mahmoud, or would you like to
I
share?
think I have it. Don't worry about it. No, we have access to that. Yeah, to the link. Yeah, I will save it here so we can get a copy of it. Okay, yeah, and we see Bilal back. Bilal, I have a question for you. I was really surprised by the lack of any significant variation across the 4 language skills, right, on the graph that you presented to us.
Yes.
So I would assume that now it's quite successful in a skill like writing, but when you get to speaking, I think we have some challenges. It's clear that students may not be aware of that variation yet, or they really think that the conversational aspect of AI that's all over the place nowadays is helping them to learn.
Yes, that's right. Yes, they are not aware of that capability of AI in improving their speaking skills. And they were surprised when we introduced this to them. They were surprised and they liked it. Really, it was really like wow. So they didn't know about it before. So they used it only to do their assignments, writing assignments. It was most used in writing. In speaking and listening was not used enough. So, and that was an opportunity for them to discover these capabilities of AI to improve their speaking and listening skills.
Yeah, I think you in your identification of the future directions, you are raising one interesting area, which is the use of AI material in publications. So far, yeah, publishers are quite, and I have been working with a couple. Publishers nowadays, the commercial ones, are quite reluctant to take AI-generated material and put it in a commercial textbook. It is not a problem so far now in an open access, but it is a problem for commercial publishing. So if you take a task or you take an outcome that you already got from any of these wonderful tools, and you want to integrate this into a learning module or unit or lesson, the commercial publishers are not ready yet to take that.
Yes, that's right. Yes, publishers are not ready. Universities are not ready. People are not ready. Everybody is against this. They object the use of AI intensively and strongly, strong objection. Now people are working on this subject, and people are doing research to convince maybe the publishers and convince the public to use AI. You know, everything has to pass the test of time. You know, everything when the computers appeared, many people were against computers. When the dish appeared and the YouTube appeared to teach students, everybody was against YouTube and using TV in teaching students. Now, with the appearance and the immersion of AI, so everybody was against, and now they have bit by bit used to it.
I agree.
And
Ana Asifa and Disuel.
Yes.
I wanted to get back to the question, does Column AI have a free version or is it only a paid resource?
AI, like ChatGPT, for example?
No, Column.
Is Qalam a free course or you have to pay, Bilal?
No, you have to pay. No, you have to pay. It is there is a free trial. Free trial, then you have to pay.
Shukran.
You're welcome. لا شكر على واجب.
I have a question to Rolla. If it's now, to what degree you can ask these AI tools to give you a specific task with certain parameters for a specific proficiency level? As we know, tasks and their demands, as we design them for language learning, they scale up, right, in terms of of what we are asking our students to accomplish. To what degree the AI tools could be more successful now or in the future for meeting these expectations?
I think I would say I'm very satisfied with being very, very specific at some point with the AI tools, and it's getting better than beginning of the school year, which is beginning of like last August to now. There's a huge difference. I got the ACTFL proficiency guidelines. I know Qatar Foundation International, they took the ACTFL proficiency guidelines and they did their own for Arabic language. I even uploaded that on the ChatGPT and I got the Edgar Dale. I even uploaded a research reviewed article and I told them from that perspective, could you like identify the area of needs with this research and make sure that it's actually implemented in that story. It's as specific as you want it to be. And of course, as a companion machine and a human being, you will always have to go back in and you have to edit and you have to put your own perspectives from your experience and readings, right? But as I see, it's extremely satisfying for me. And I would also say a lot of students, I've seen a very high engagement level with so many students. It works so much better with the adult students that I've worked with than the younger ones. But the younger ones does not really require much of a higher order critical thinking that's very detailed. So I felt like very satisfied with the with the specificity of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? I have so many, but I think in the closing remarks, we may engage in maybe in a conversation. I think Bilal raised an interesting number of issues that are facing us as we navigate how we use AI. Okay, here is one for Bilal for now. Now, Bilal, regarding the standard versus dialect, don't you think that some of the outcomes, some of the corrections that we get are biased in the sense that they get the input from certain texts that have been produced in a certain culture for a certain purpose and perhaps for a certain variety of standard Arabic or classical Arabic? We have seen earlier that Arkud, right, was provided instead of Ajri. But if you are teaching this for those who are learning standard Arabic and they speak Egyptian and write in the standard, they will tend to use Ajri and not Arkud. How do you see this bias in terms of the variety selection?
Yes, I totally agree with you. Yeah, there is too much bias in these LLMs. This is due to the databases and the databases that are brought from many other websites like social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Google. And the majority here wins. Like Egyptians are a majority, so they have a lot of input. They put a lot of input to ChatGPT and these LLMs and these databases, it is biased towards the Egyptian type of Arabic, Egyptian variety of Arabic. Even sometimes you find ChatGPT talks to you in Egyptian dialect by default. It can bring, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of words are brought from Egyptian dialect. And sometimes if it uses, for example, my original dialect is Tunisian, and I live in Saudi Arabia. So I notice sometimes that ChatGPT sometimes talks to me in Saudi Arabian dialect, and sometimes talks to me in Tunisian dialect. And it's not fully Tunisian because the databases are too low and there is not too much input for these LLMs. And, it's not a majority, it's a minority. So, it is biased towards Egyptian dialect more and more.
Thank you, Bilal. Very interesting. Rolla, go ahead.
I actually have a comment because when you mentioned the word bias, I'm really very interested right now with biases with AI because I found it's a big a topic that we really have to look into it. And I think there's so many few researchers talked about this. And I think we can change that by teaching AI. So I've attended a webinar in Harvard University, and Brian Wu is an amazing instructor in there. He mentioned it all depends about the input and the output. If you, for instance, wanted to create a picture and you would say, create a picture of a doctor, it will only bring out to you a white male. It will not get a female. It won't get any other ethnic minority. But you will have to teach AI is like, I want a doctor with a Middle Eastern background, for instance, or a Hispanic background, a female doctor. And you have to teach them with the input. So it's when you say that delicate, it's so funny because while you are talking right now, both of you, I was like say Saudi greetings and respond in Egyptian. So I found out here like, oh, hello, Allah, كيفك وش أخبارك اليوم? And then the Egyptian, أهلا بك تمام alhamdulillah. So it was really nice to see that and how it improves according to our input. So I think we should really pay more attention to the bias.
Yeah, I think the future will carry. I think Bilal here would agree with me. More dialect differentiation over time. I think that's where a lot of work in computational is moving in that direction about dialect detection and identification. I would like to take much time. We want to make sure that we are giving you 30 minutes for lunch or dinner where you are. We will.
It's dinner for me.
Yeah, that's right, Bilal. So we'll make sure to see you here in around 25 minutes for our last panel. Thank you very much. And please stay here. Don't sign out of the meeting. We will see you here again in around 25 minutes. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you for providing us with this nice opportunity. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Of course. Bye-bye.
Thank you.